if a person is moving in that zone beyond the physical, the initial motion from there puts him in metaphysics. A mystic has more access to higher frequencies than the metaphysician. Spirituality becomes like the goal of the mystic. Lusty desires, they all go down. You see, in the mystic is beyond those things.
Doctor, can we all be mystics? Can I learn the practice of mysticism? Can I raise my frequency to that level?
When the world is passing through tough times, I come down.
Good evening again, jancosmicfoundation. We are back like that we promise, and we make sure we deliver to you. It's all about spirituality. And fortunately, today we have a very nice and a very great and a unique topic, spirituality and mysticism. I guess you've heard of the word mystic. What is really the meaning of mystic? Is mysticism and spirituality almost the same? How can we differentiate between them? How can we connect them? The guru himself is here. He's going to explain things to us. He's a mystic, and surely he will let us know things to do and things not to do, and how to evolve rapidly. Good evening, my brother.
Good evening, beloved brother.
Welcome to our show once again.
Yeah.
Today we are looking at spirituality and mysticism.
Yeah.
And I know you are a mystic, and can you give us who a mystic really is? When we say somebody is a mystic, what does it mean? Who is a mystic?
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes when you say mystic, and when you're talking of spirituality, people would like to go to the dictionary for it's just like when you say God. It's the intellectuals, their understanding of it is what they are given.
Okay.
But in reality, when we come to a topic like God, soul, spirit, and those things, one has to be on a platform to experience those things and understand from that point.
Okay.
It is not just intellectual something.
Okay.
So the definitions in that sense will always fall short of the truth.
Okay. So you can
Now,
give us some explanation. I know you are
yes,
into those things.
yes. When you say mystic, when a person, when we say metaphysics, for example, physical, meta means above the physical.
Okay.
So things that are above the physical, what it means is the internal things. Internal things like things of the mind. Mind is not physical, you see. So mostly it deals with the mind. So metaphysics, the laws of the mind, when you are following them, guided by them, then we can say you're a metaphysician, you see. And there is a saying that mind over matter. Mind over matter, because mind's frequency is higher than matter. So for that matter, if one is functioning as a metaphysician, then he has certain level of control over material energy or material laws.
Okay, if I get you right, the metaphysician you are talking about, is it the same as the mysticism?
No, I'm coming to
Okay.
I'm coming to explain mysticism.
Okay.
But then it begins that way.
Okay.
You see. So just as I used to say that there are three things. we have the body or the external, then we have the mind, and then we have spirit.
Spirit, okay.
But then the mind, which is mediating between spirit and the body, a portion of the mind is hooked on to body.
Okay.
And a portion of the same mind is hooked on to spirit. So when you initiate a motion from spirit, say the part of the mind which is inside the matter or body, we call the objective mind. Then when you are pulling away to the mind proper, that is the section which is a little departed from the body, then you are entering the zone of metaphysics, because it is above physical. You see. Now, as you enter there, the energies are finer than the physical energies, because everything is ultimately energy, but grosser energy versus subtler energy. Okay. Now, if a person is moving in that zone beyond the physical, the initial motion from there puts him in metaphysics. Now, when he goes from the mental zone, departing more and more, then the higher side of metaphysics, that is getting closer to
spirit,
the higher mind, to spirit, there you get mysticism to also function.
Okay.
So a mystic has more access to higher frequencies than the metaphysician.
Okay.
You see, metaphysician, he has a little departure from the physical
realm.
Yes. But in natural fact, he's not yet a mystic. But when he goes further and further on, getting closer to spirit frequencies, then he's becoming a mystic. Now, when he actually, see, the word spirituality, when you use the spiritual as an adjective describing spirit, that means the zone of the spirit, or something that has something to do with spirit. A thing that has something to do with spirit is spiritual. So the mystic goes on and finally enters spirit zone. And for that matter, he becomes spiritual. And in a sense, spirituality becomes like the goal of the mystic. And when he achieves it, he can still be called a mystic. Why? Because he's not finally sort of withdrawing away. He still keeps in the zone of higher mind to render service.
Okay.
So all that time he's a mystic. When he chooses to, like we use the word merge, enter or realize the original pure awareness state, there is no turning back. It's just fully expanded, is God in that sense. Then we're not going to label him mystic.
Okay.
It's pure spirit.
Okay.
You see. So the whole thing is in this way, initiating the movement into the zone of the mind, and that takes you away from body consciousness too much. A portion of the mind is so much tied into body consciousness.
Yeah.
And when you are sort of pulling away from there, then we say you are now functioning or going beyond physical. And the word meta means above.
Okay.
So metaphysics, above the physical. And it means you are now polarizing, you are now keeping yourself more and more in mind awareness, or the attributes of the mind. You keep inside it more and less physical.
Okay.
So in that way, there are a lot of experiences for the metaphysician, which the other persons who are absorbed in physical consciousness, they don't experience those things. One can focus the mind and make things happen. One can experience so many things. He can see into, he can have insight into a lot of things that others are not having. And as a metaphysician, he can have a lot of energy that he can channel into affirmations and decreeing for things to happen. So he's functioning beyond the physical state.
Okay.
You see. But then it's like a beginner mystic. You see, the metaphysician is like a beginner mystic.
Okay.
So there, he does these things, but higher than that is much more expansion, and that one is getting closer and closer to the spirituality. So for that matter, the person is becoming a mystic.
Okay.
And even all the way to full spirituality is still called a mystic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand there are not many of these people on this planet. These mystics, they are not so much. And I don't know if you can share some of the characteristics or signs so that as a layman like me, when I see a person like this, maybe I could see he's a mystic. Since I've not reached that stage that you said, maybe I can know it automatically. How do I identify a mystic from the layman's point of view?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. In the first place, when one becomes a mystic, because of departing from physical consciousness, is very calm under every circumstance, and the aura is very strong, very much expanded, and there is that peace you can notice.
Okay.
And these attributes of spirit, they shine in the person. Is loving. It doesn't have desires and aversion. You see, metaphysician can have desires and be channeling energies to achieve this and that, to do that, focusing. But when he's becoming a mystic, desires go down. So things like lusty desires, they all go down. You see, in a mystic, is beyond those things. He will only he or she will only relate with compassion to help, So whatever is doing, the motive is different.
Okay.
It's not to enjoy the body. Yeah, it's just you will use the body only if it is in service of somebody.
Okay.
But that is for the mystic. Yeah, and most of the time, you can see it in their eyes also, because when people carry things like lust in their eyes, of course, if you are in the entanglement of the body, you can't easily see these things. But as you progress on, you'll be able to tell when somebody is becoming saintly in nature. Yeah, and the balance of the breath is silent in them, and things which make the breath move erratically doesn't happen to them. You break a news that may be, in the worldly sense, a bad news, and it's like the same as it used to be. You see, you bring praises or something you can call wonderful, it remains the same. You see, unless he's acting. So if something is bad, as people use the words bad, he remains the same. It's only if he wants to socialize and they are all moody, they are all pensive, whatever, sometimes he can just act to let them feel he's with them. But deeply he hasn't descended.
Okay. Doctor, can we all be mystics? Can I learn the practice of mysticism? Can I raise my frequency to that level?
Everyone is a mystic, but the drama, actually, the role one has chosen to play makes him ignore
that he's a mystic.
Yes.
What does it mean when you say everyone is a mystic? Explain.
What I mean is this: you are spirit, and you've gotten involved with the equipment, the lower frequencies, and you are passing through something which is more like a drama state, and there is something inner that has accepted it. So because of that, you cover up to be able to play the role. But deep within, you are a mistake, behaving like not a mistake. And you are actually, it is an intentional situation. One spirit has chosen to play the role in the drama, and he enters into a dream state to be able to play that role. Because if he's in a waking state to see everything, he might not even play the role. Because it's like when he's awakened to himself, some of the things in the role, he's already content, he's already blissful. What is he after to enter the drama? You see, so he has to enter into like hypnotic. You see, he has to be it is self-hypnosis. He enters into that state so that he can now play roles that covers up the fact that he is a mystic.
Okay.
You see. Now, when he's returning, then where he accepted the role, that is where the change has to take place and the awakening comes.
Where he took the role.
The role, self-hypnosis, that is hypnotizing himself into the fact that he is going to play the role. So he enters into a shift.
Okay.
If he is not shifting, he can't play the role.
That role. Okay.
So he shifts awareness, and then he can play the role, and it's like everything is so real. It's a dream, and he's going on. See, so the return takes him to the point where the shift back, and then it's like getting up, awakening. So around that point of shifting, then the mystic aspect of you is coming forward. Okay. And you become, so in actual fact, it's very close to self-realization.
Okay. You are watching Jan Cosmic Foundation. We are discussing spirituality and mysticism. Please drop your comments down below. Let's know what you think about this topic under discussion. And Dr. Jan, you see, mystics, as we were discussing, there are not many on this planet. And there is the saying that they does a lot of the wonderful things right here. Those mystics, they are few, but they are doing a lot of things for us on this planet. And how do their roles help the general populace, or let's say those coming from the lower mind, wanting to join them as mystics? You already said we are all mystics, but because of roles that we are playing, that's why some are covered.
Yeah.
So how do we uncover it? How do those people, those mystics, play their role well to help the others, as you said, compassion, so that they can also get back home?
Yes. Let me take you to some films, drama, some films. Sometimes the film is going on, and as it keeps going on, certain portions puts people in suspense. Hey, what next? That thing is happening this way, that way. So one is glued to it to see what next. Then it gets to some point, it's easy to tell what next.
Okay.
In the drama or in the film. And it gets to some point, the drama giving particular emotions like fear as you are watching it, or anxiety, or certain things happening makes you feel sad. You watch because it's a kind of lesson, but what it is makes you feel sad. Then the thing has to change at some point, and you sit up and you are excited and you are happy and as you watch the film. Now, turning points like that, most of the time, if you notice, somebody enters the sad points, someone enters into it and the whole thing starts turning, and then it becomes, then you sit up to watch that side, because the entrance of that person is making the whole story change.
Yeah.
And then there is happiness, you see. So, just as you know, the drama is for education, it's also for
Information and entertainment.
entertainment, and so on. So the entertainment will have polarity, because inside it there will be periods, there will be such suspense and anxiety. And then when it turns and there is joy, you may even raise your hand because it's like, wow, you see. So in this great drama, same things are there, and when things have to turn, then that is the time such mystics appear, and they come to help. And in the process, there are some who have been down, and the drama, everything is down, sad, worries, and anxieties, and that. And then when it comes in, some of the persons will finally not only be lifted from that state, but in the long run, he leaves them to chalk a new direction for the drama. Okay. So he only came to inspire them and change course. And once the course has changed, he may even back off, because he came to help them to overcome something. Okay. And then once they have overcome, they themselves are now the ones championing everything. And they keep going. You see, so
can I use Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Hindu, Krishna, Dr. Baffour Jan as example of mystics who has come to help people across that journey?
Yeah, yes, they are like coaches. Okay. And they demonstrated it with their lives, so that the mark of the change will stay on. Okay. You see, so always they change the course of history, if I have to put it that way. They change the story. You see, the story goes in a certain direction and everyone is in suspense. Is the whole world coming to an end, and people become, it's like they are thinking of doom, because the pattern, how things are going, everything is collapsing.
But do you think, do you know that is what currently people are thinking?
Yes.
Like that's the current generation.
Yes.
Everything is doom.
Yes. Doom, 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 doom. But then, when there is darkness, there is a small light. Okay. It gives hope. And then how can we make it a bigger light and see clearly, dispel the light, dispel the darkness, you see. So instead of, we are doomed, then the story changes. There is hope. Okay. See, and that hope can lead to changing everything and no more thinking of doom. Okay. You see, so this is happening because of the entrance in the whole thing. And you can see, like you are mentioning, for example, Krishna, he mentioned that when the world is passing through tough times, I come down. It's not the limiting forms. See, so when he has come as a Christ, and the Christ has come as Krishna, because the one presence only.
So that's what the I is representing.
The real I. Okay. That is why in the scripture somewhere it says, I am that I am. Because it's not the limited, separated eyes, but the I that incorporates all I ams. That is what I am.
I am that I am. That's the meaning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Because you see, every entity says or feels, I am. And even the mosquito feels, I am.
Sure.
The ant feels, I am. You see, I. That I feeling is everywhere in all things. And all this I am is what I am. You see? So I am that I am. All these I ams are myself. That is what it means by I am that I am. Anywhere I am is expressed, that is me. That is what he was talking. So in this way, certain expressions that the Christ made, up to today, they don't even understand it. That if you were to come and meet me in later on, you'll be surprised when I will say, I don't know you, because I came to you, I was hungry,
for
I
what
needed
time?
water, I needed this, and you said, you didn't give me. Then you say, but I didn't see you. When?
It's not even come to me to
Because
request for food.
all the I's who are coming, moving around is that I am. You see?
This your teaching is very deep.
Yes, that is the I am. It's just one presence.
Okay.
And it's deep, you see. But it is the truth.
Okay.
Separate I am is an illusion.
Okay.
That is what makes the drama go on. It's just a dream thing.
Doctor,
So,
okay.
the mystic is a person who has come to that realization of the oneness. Because the truth is, as you move from objective mind towards the higher mind, there is expansion. The lower mind is a small point of mind, and it is trying to know, so it moves very fast, goes into the past, goes into the future, goes far away, trying to know things. That's why it is not stable, all the time moving, exploring, wanting to know. But when you are moving away from that point, it is a point that expands like this. You come to the objective mind, you are coming to a point. You move away from it, you are expanding and becomes. So higher mind is very expanded presence of mind. And that is why it is not exploring anything. Because it knows that it's expanded to know past, expanded to know future, expanded to know distant. So what is the anxiety about anything? No. So a mystic goes to that state of realization, and it's one of the qualities and attributes. It's not fretting about anything because everything is known. It's not anxious about things. That is why sometimes a real mystic is not into making name and everything, because sometimes people want to prophesy, then if it should happen, then people, hey, but he's not anxious about anything. He knows it, but and so what? You know, but the small mind, the objective mind doesn't know it. So he's curious and wants to know, and so on. And instead of helping the person to go beyond the small point mind, so that he also expands and be relaxed about everything because he knows. Then we leave the person in that state and tell the things. So the person never changes.
Okay.
Never moves away from the one-pointed mind, that objective mind. One never moves from it because always is asking because it doesn't know.
So, Doctor, will you recommend us having a mystic school or something like that? Because I'm curious. You see, our Bible, those who have elevated, they wrote the Bible and
Yes,
those
yes.
books within the books.
Yeah.
Yes, and they use terms we don't even understand.
Yeah.
And so, as you were saying, I am that I am. I never knew this was what actually
It
meant.
means, yeah.
Yeah, but we want to learn something from the Bible. We want to learn something from other books within these bigger books. And you people have written it in coded languages, pragmatics. How do you let us understand? Is it about mystic schools, or how do you help us?
Yes. If you go to a place and majority of the people there are, excuse me to say, primary, then how you present things will have to be different.
Okay.
And if they are in primary and majority among them are yearning to go to secondary school, they have a drive towards it. You have a different approach, but there will be some who care less about going to secondary school and whatever is being taught them, it's just so when it is like that, the approach will have to be different for those people, you see. And then you go to a place, the people are, a majority are secondary school students, then that permits you to teach on another level. See,
The same topic.
Yes. You know what the generations have done to, let's take for example, the people in Africa. You see, the souls taking birth to play drama in Africa, most of them have a lot of conditionings, a lot of indoctrinations. You see, so it's a zone that is keeping a lot of trappings. You see, let me call it mental poisoning. So you have to cure them mentally. If I say cure them mentally, excuse me to use that word, you see, mental poisoning is something that has happened to the mind, and the mind becomes addicted to lower frequencies. So it's mental poisoning. So they are addicted to lower frequencies. And for that matter, we can have different approach to those in that category. You see, but it's a challenge to the teachers who come. Every generation in which they appear, there is a challenge, because you have to see when people have been in that conditioning for long. Also, there is another thing that sometimes they have been battling and losing, battling and losing, battling and losing. So they might have, you have some of them who are ready to say enough is enough. You see, and those become candidates for helping them out of that entanglement. And you see, but those who haven't reached enough is enough, they are yentijai.
We are still playing our roles in the drama down
so
there.
they have to suffer more before they become ready. See, they still think they can enjoy more in the material situation, while some have learnt their lessons and they want to pull out, some are not. So you can't give the same instructions to all the people like that. So we have general things we give to the people to be doing, but when it comes to specifics, sometimes it is different from one person to the other. Yeah, it's a challenge.
Okay.
Yes.
So mysticism, how what's your final word on it? How do we enter that realm from the mind, getting to the mystic level? Yeah, how do we get there? We want to surpass the metaphysics. We move to the mind and maybe higher mind. How do we or we are all mystics, how do we, uncover those things that have covered us so that things will be clearer for us?
Yes. Yes. There are a lot of things in this. You see, every advantage, there is a disadvantage. So in this generation that there are misfortunes, that means things are really hard on people. It is also an advantage in a sense that there is a blessing because of these things. The blessing is that whenever something happens too strong on the people, that particular point, they are ready to listen. Take, for example, the COVID came, and now people sat up, and you say something, they want to listen. But when it has passed, then they are reabsorbing to it again.
I'll give you an example. I never thought we could worship in just 1 hour. You see, when we were worshiping for about 4 to 5 hours, mostly every Sunday. And when the COVID came, they told us to worship for only 1 hour in church. And it was possible.
And it was working. Because everything is about quality, not quantity, not plenty hours. It's a question of if you can really let go so many things and be seriously focused to keep the mind silent and the inner noise reduced, then short time of that is, fantastic.
Okay.
See, it brings you closer and closer to the realizations.
So continue for us with your final words and summary about mysticism.
Yes, yes. I just use the word inner noise.
Okay.
Yeah, that is one of the things that stands in the way of getting along to be a mystic. You see, because external noise is coming from external world. Internal noise is also coming from internal side. And you have to be bypassing both to enter the peace of the spirit. So when people move through metaphysics, they move from the external noise, but they are with the internal noise.
Yeah.
And even that, they start to achieve certain things and experience certain things. But now, as they are bypassing inner noise, then they are becoming mystics.
Okay.
See, so a lot you have to do to yourself should be concerning inner noise.
Okay.
Inner noise is going on all the time, and the mind is speaking. The speech is going on, which is not for the ears. Even if you lock your ears, the mind is speaking. It's telling you this, telling you that. So that means that is the inner noise. Outer noise, we identify with these ears. But when you have closed this one totally, your mind will still be saying things. You see, and the mind continues saying. So it's repeating certain things you heard some time ago. It has recorded it and playing back to you. So there is so much noise inside you.
So that's inner noise, thinking of the future and overthinking.
Yes,
And
yes, they are all.
it usually happens to me.
Yeah, that's right. So when you are getting to cross it, then you are actually entering into the zone of mysticism.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is something that can be achieved if one is really determined to go that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sure, you can achieve it if you are really determined to go that way. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah.
Please comment down below and let me know what you think about mysticism. My name is Kwaku Kuni. I did the show with Dr. Baffour Jan Kuni. We will see you next week.
Yeah.